Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am going to be doing a video about my 2024 ins and outs. If you have TikTok, you might see this type of video trending right now. I've seen a lot of people do ins and outs videos, especially on TikTok. I've seen maybe a couple on not Instagram, YouTube, but I thought I would do one for planning, which I thought could be fun, but at the same time I was trying not to talk about specific products just because I want to do a favorites video soon, and also I just kind of wanted to make this video about kind of ideas or intentions. So it won't be about specific products in this video, but I thought it would still be fun. But because there was no specific products, I did have a little bit of a harder time. So I do have more ins than outs. So I can't really go one for one like I was kind of initially planning on doing. I might do 2 ins and then an out and then another in and then an out. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. Also, really quickly, if you hear noise in the background, those are my dogs. They are playing directly behind me, so you can probably hear that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Since there are no physical products to show you, I will just kind of try my best to explain and also maybe try to show examples, whether that's in my planner or maybe I will clip in some images on the screen. So my first in for 2024 is messy and functional planning. Obviously, I still want to do deco and stickers and all of that, but I really want to focus on just getting things down when I think of them instead of thinking of something but my planner not really being near me, or maybe I'm not in the mindset to sit down and properly add it in and all that. I really want to just be able to write it in, because sometimes I will think of something and I will intend to go back to it when I am doing my actual planning, either in the daytime or nighttime, whatever, whenever I decide I want to do it. And I will forget I'll forget about it. Whatever thought I had, whatever I needed to write down or whatever, I will sometimes forget about it. So I really want to focus on just being able to plan functionally. And I think I would say I do functional planning right currently, but I just don't do a lot of on the go functional planning. I have to sit at my desk, I have to want to be in the mood to sit down with my planner and all of that. So I really want to, again, focus on just being able to write things down as I think of them and just having my planner with me and kind of treating this as I think I've seen people call their planners their second brain or something like that. So I really want to focus on that. And I was gonna show my weekly. So I'm thinking it's kind of, I can't show all of my week. I guess I could, but what is my weekly? Not this one. This was the first weekly of the year, and I just kind of, this isn't really part of it, but I did take away that line that I used to do, and I've been trying out just all fully horizontal planning. So I am trying that again. That's not really part of the functional messy planning because I feel that could go with any layout, but I just kind of, I felt I wrote down a lot of stuff, but I still kept stickers in. So that's kind of the vibe, I guess. I want to still do stickers, maybe not a lot of stickers, but some stickers, and just kind of have a lot of things. It doesn't have to be a lot of things, just whatever needs to be written down, just to write it down. It doesn't necessarily, I don't have to have everything filled. So that is my, oh, and also I wanted to talk about how a big reason that I want to be able to just kind of like on the go plan is just because my schedule for school this semester is just more, I guess, intense. I do have a more full schedule and I'm taking more classes, and I have the days that I go into school, they're set up to where they're long days. So I want to be able to take my planner with me and be able to plan there if I want to or need to or whatever. Going into I will do one more in and then I'll do an out. So going into my second in, and these are not in any particular order. I just sat down and thought about what I wanted to talk about, and I just wrote it in that order that I thought of it in. So again, they're not in any like specific order. So my number 2 in is for 2024 is more plan with me reels, and that's on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, my handle is exactly the same. It's Magic Meets Paper. But I was doing plan with me reels for I don't know exactly how long, not that long, but I liked doing them. I liked filming them. I thought it was like fun content. I liked watching them too. I liked watching other people's plan with me reels. And that might have been like the beginning of last year, maybe even the year before. But I kind of stopped doing them. Last year was just busy, so I stopped doing them as much. And so this year I really want to focus on bringing those back because, again, I like watching them, I like filming them, I like them, I do. So, and I've already done a few, I think, this year since January 1st. So that is something that I want to do. So if you're interested in watching those, yeah, I would recommend going and checking my Instagram out. Now for my first out of 2024, it is going to be feeling like everything needs to be perfect and filled out. And this kind of ties into my last year's weeks too, because I was so busy. There are multiple weeks where it's just blank. And I showed that and talked about that a little bit when I did my 2023 completed week split here on Instagram. Here on YouTube, sorry. And there were just a lot of blank pages in that one, and I just started thinking about how I didn't want to backfill them. I didn't. I did backfill a couple actually while it was happening. So like if I was like a week behind, I would just kind of like go back, and I already had like the skeleton of the week. I would go back and just fill it out. But if there was like a fully blank week and I didn't remember or was too busy to like write down stuff, I just didn't. And I didn't backfill those weeklies. There was like, I think one that was blank that I did backfill, and not fully. I just added in a couple of key things on the days that they happened because I knew I'd want to remember that. But other than that, I didn't go and backfill those weeklies. And I was thinking about how a lot of people like in the planning community especially, in the planning community, talk about how they prefer to see things filled out, and like I'm right there with you guys. I do prefer, I don't love seeing like blank pages or anything, especially in a dated planner, but if I'm too busy or if I don't feel like planning, if maybe like my mental health is just like not there and I'm just not in it, I don't want to force myself to use something that I'm not finding joy in, or if I'm just too busy to do or focus on. So I kind of want to embrace any blank weeklies, which is what I was trying to do in my 2023 weeks when I did my flip, because they just showed that they reflected, all those pages in my weeks like reflected how my life was going. And them being blank, I know what I was doing at that time, or I know more or less how I was feeling at that time, so I know why they're blank. And that kind of goes for also my weeklies. I don't want to let me get to my weekly, hold on. Yeah, back to this weekly. There's a big blank space here, and I didn't want to force myself to. I could have like journaled or something, which I've done before, but I don't want to feel like I have to fill out any blank spaces. Or if there's like a day on this side that I don't have a lot to write, or if it was like a really lazy day, I didn't like do much or anything or whatever, and it's blank or has like one thing or two things, I don't want to feel like I have to write it down. This is probably not the best example because it is kind of filled in, except for this side, but this is last week, and this, I have two things. So I left it. I left all of this blank too. So that's just something that I'm going to try to like be better with and not feel like I have to fill out things or make them look perfect. And again, that kind of goes hand in hand with the want to do messy and functional planning. I don't necessarily want this whole planner to be messy. Like, that's not really how I mean it. But I want to have the ability to write things down as necessary as I think of them and not really worry about how perfect it looks, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is my first out. My third in for 2024 is having a true EDC, which EDC, if you don't know, is everyday carry. I do not always carry around my planner. I don't think I really ever have, but I really like the idea of it. I want to do that. So I've been trying to get better at carrying around my planner with me, especially to school because they are long days. So I want to have my planner with me because otherwise I don't know if I'd get much planning done at all that day. So I just want my planner to be more or less a true EDC. I want to carry it around more. So that is my third in for 2024. And my fourth in for 2024 is setting the ambience for YouTube, for my YouTube videos. And that is what I've been trying to do in my most recent YouTube videos, and this one, clearly my candle. I have been trying to make it more like cozy and having like the ambience and like kind of a little bit more like aesthetic, and I enjoy watching those kinds of videos that they kind of like make that effort, and so that is what I would like to try to do and achieve also this year in my YouTube videos. And my second out is babying my planner. I think this kind of goes hand in hand with why I hadn't ever really before been more of like an EDC person. I don't carry out my planner very much because I tend to baby my planners, and it's not even just like the planners themselves. It's more or less the covers, the planner covers that I'm trying to baby. And I know planners are meant to be used, including the covers, so I know that in my head, but I just can't help it. I can't help but to baby them. And even when I take this out with me now, I put it in a pouch, which traveler's notebooks are kind of meant to be used and scratched up. And I'm not super careful when I am using it, but I do carry it around in a pouch. I don't just stuff it in my bag. So that is an out this year, baby my planners. And I think other than carrying my planner around in a bag, I feel like I've done a decent job. I'm carrying it out in general more. I'm planning a little on the go a little bit more. So I think I'm so far, I mean, we're still in January, I think I've so far done a pretty decent job at that. My fifth in for 2024 is to not care as much about how my feed looks, my Instagram feed. So if you do follow me on Instagram, and I'll probably put up like a picture somewhere on the screen of my Instagram feed, how it was, and it has changed a little bit. It hasn't been super consistent. I've changed like filters for my photos and all that, so I'll just kind of pick one era or whatever and post that, and then I'll also post my kind of like current feed right now. So I'm trying to get better at not caring as much with how it looks and only wanting my pictures to be like on my desk. And I would put all of my reels, like I would post them and leave them up for a little bit, but then there's a way to take it off your profile grid, so it lives in your reels. Like that's a separate tab. It lives in your reels, but not on your main feed. So I would do that. I would post the reels, leave them up for a little, and then I would move it to like where the actual reels are. I would just move it off my main grid feed. And I'm thinking I'm going to get out of the habit of doing that, or at least try to. My last few reels I have just kept up in my main profile feed, so I haven't moved them over. We'll see if I change my mind, but I kind of like that they're in there because it breaks up the photos. Even though the photos have the same filter, it breaks up the photos so that it doesn't look like perfect, or like I'm trying to get it to look perfect. I want to be able to take photos of my planner out and about if I want to and post them. I don't want all my photos to have to be at my desk. So that is another in for 2024 for me. And my sixth in for 2024 is using my stash. I have a lot of stationery stuff. I have gone through and like gotten rid of a lot of it, but I still have a lot of it left. So I want to use my stash throughout the year, and of course I will still buy some things, but I just want to be more careful about what I'm purchasing and just use what I have. And I would like to do another destash, or just kind of clear out my stationery supplies sometime this year too, another big one, because I feel like I have accumulated still kind of a good amount of stuff and I don't touch some of it. So if I notice throughout the year that I'm not using it, I would like to either sell it or just get rid of it or donate it or something. So that is something that I would like to work on this year. And then my last out for 2024 goes hand in hand, which is buying an excessive amount of stationery. I already kind of talked about this just now, but I want to use my stash. I don't want to buy a lot of new stuff, especially if I already own something similar, or if I have a lot of whatever category it is, like stickers. I have a lot of stickers. I don't need to keep buying stickers unless I'm actually using up my stickers, which I am not going through my stickers as fast as I am buying them. And that was mostly before. I think this year I've been better, and even last year I was okay. Because I know I have a lot of stickers, so I just try to be really mindful of that if I see new releases, because sometimes a lot of icons are very similar, but sometimes people come out with new things, and my initial urge is that I want it because it's a new icon or whatever, but I have so many icons that could work for many different things, so I just try to be more careful about what I think I actually want. And then also when it comes to like character stickers, I've seen a lot that I know the Coffee Monsters Co. came out or did like a recent release with like a bunch of mini stickers or mini icons or whatever, and they looked really cute. I thought about it, but I passed for now, but we will see. But that's just I kind of try to talk myself out of purchases because I know I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of washi that I don't use very often, so even though I see a lot of washi and a lot of new washi is being like let out and released, and it's all very pretty, but I just try to talk myself out of it. And my seventh and last 2024 in that I could think of. Like, I was trying to actually think of more before I started filming this, because I started making this list like last week and I just didn't get back around to it. I started school this week, and so I just didn't get back around to like what I thought was going to be finishing the list, but then I couldn't really think of much more, and I really wanted to film this video, so this is my last one, for now at least. This can obviously always be added on for me, but for the purpose of this video, this is the last one, which is talking on my Instagram stories more and just kind of creating a sense of community. And the community thing is also for YouTube. I want to create more YouTube videos. I want to be more or less on a schedule. So I've been trying to put out more content, but also especially like on Instagram, I am more active there. I do post more, not necessarily on my feed, even though I feel like I do post more frequently there, but sometimes I do go through like patches where I'm not posting, but I'm still just on, or I'm posting on my stories. So I really want to work on creating like that sense of community there too, and talking on my stories, and instead of putting it to my close friends, I put it to public. And I really enjoy watching other people's talking stories. Like when people have chatty stories, I really like watching it. So I am trying to get more comfortable with talking and putting it to public. So, and it makes me a little bit nervous because I am more on the shy side. So like, I didn't talk very much of my stories at all, but if I did, like my face, not just talking like this where they can't see my face, but with my face, I would put it to close friends. And even though it's not about like who is on my close friends, it's just about me being shy and knowing that if I don't set it to close friends and I set it to public, that anyone can watch it, and that like freaks me out a little bit. But I'm trying to get better at it, because I think that talking on your stories and kind of allowing people to get to know you more and just kind of creating like your mark or your person like in the planner community, I just think overall creates a better sense of community. And I just, it's hard to explain. That is kind of what I want to do. I want to talk more on my stories and maybe post on, well, I want to post on YouTube more like for my videos, but maybe try to get into also posting. I think they have like a community tab or something. I've posted once or twice, I believe, and where you could write like statuses or little paragraphs or whatever. But I was thinking maybe of trying to do that a little more often, or maybe even do, I haven't looked into the I think they're called shorts right here on YouTube. They're kind of like Instagram reels, except they're called shorts. I think they're called shorts. I haven't looked into that. I don't really, it might be easy, but I don't even know how to do those. But if it's a similar thing to reels, maybe I could post whatever like plan with me reels that I do there. Maybe I could also post them on YouTube, because I know not everyone who subscribes to me on YouTube also follows me on Instagram. And just in general, I think it'd be more fun and kind of also again create that sense of community here on YouTube. So that was my last in that I could think of for 2024. This video, I don't imagine being very long, but we'll see. I know I chatted a bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and let me know if you have any like ins and outs for 2024. Let me know down below. And if you'd like to see more content from me, I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. And check out my Instagram if you want to see even more content, because I am more active on there. And I hope you guys have a really great week and day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.